what happens, or what I see happen, is that the ladies become resentful towards the amount of mental load that they are carrying in all of those areas. And where does that show up? Well, it shows up in their relationship with their tradie. It shows up in their level of commitment to the business. It shows up in how they're interacting with their kids. Ladies, you are not always the best thing for your business. You staying in your business is not necessarily the best thing for you, for your tradie, for your family, for your business. And I want to explain myself and why, if I don't blow away in the meantime. If we reflect over the last 6-7 years that we've been kind of doing this thing with business owners, and I've been in the coaching space, there are a couple of things and a few dynamics that I've seen and been able to identify through, theming and really observing, I guess, the way that relationships operate in business, and also through my own experience. So I want to be clear here that when I'm referencing ladies in their businesses, I'm referencing myself also. And I want to explain to you why it's not always healthy for you to stay in your business, and to give you a few pointers on the things that might indicate to you that it might be time to do something else. So the first thing is that the mental load for women who are working in their businesses with their husbands or partners is huge. And you top that with the mental load of running the household, looking after the family, looking after the extended family, and for some of you also working your own jobs and careers. That is a fucking lot. What happens, or what I see happen, is that the ladies become resentful towards the amount of mental load that they are carrying in all of those areas. And where does that show up? Well, it shows up in their relationship with their tradie. It shows up in their level of commitment to the business. It shows up in how they're interacting with their kids. And most of the time, if the balance is too far out of whack and that mental load in all of those areas just runs thinner and thinner over time, you end up a shit human. That ain't good for anybody. And I really do believe in the happy wife, happy life theory, because females, or women, we can become an absolute storm in a teacup if we are too overwhelmed and too overstimulated and too overcommitted to all of the things that happen in our lives. So that's the first thing, is the mental load that women carry outside of their tradie businesses is already a full-time gig or more. And then we're putting the tradie business on top of that often, and you're taking on the responsibility of that. And a lot of the times you resent that in the end, because it's like, well, I didn't choose to be in this, which is bullshit, because you did. There was some active decision at some point that you made, that you and your hubby or your tradie decided that that was the right thing. So the mental load's the first thing. The second thing is priorities. So men and women have different priorities. And when the tradies don't meet the priorities of their ladies when it comes to running their tradie businesses together, the ladies get really pissed, and they believe and they accuse the tradies of not caring and not respecting them and not listening to them. Again, my belief is that is bullshit. Your tradie is not actively going out of his way to disrespect you and to not make your needs his priority. What he is trying to do is to juggle all of the expectations that are on him in the business as well as your expectations. And when you're in a husband-wife or a partner's dynamic in business together, again, You just end up resenting each other. And the thing about tradies or blokes overall is that the minute that we say, hey, Dal, did you do this? Or, hey, do you remember that you've got to do that? They're not hearing that as a reminder. They are hearing that as feeling controlled and feeling criticised, and that they're not good enough. And one thing I see often in our tradies over time is where the wives have got a fair bit of control and say in their businesses, for better or for worse, some tradies retreat into their shells and it knocks their confidence for six, and they feel like everything that they do is wrong and that nothing that they're doing is good enough because the lady is, from his perspective, criticising. Now, ladies, you'll be out there going, yeah, but if he doesn't effing listen, then we're not going to have any money and the clients are going to be let down and this and this and this and this. Absolutely. But guess what? That's his responsibility and not yours. You're carrying the mental load for the things that are his responsibility. And if that's going to fracture your relationship, because what we say at Ladies with Tradies is maintain relationships at all cost. If that's fracturing your relationship because you're, nagging essentially, and I'm sorry girls, but that is what it is. The tradies have to fall on their ass sometimes in order to learn the lessons that they need to learn in business. And we don't want to see that be a catastrophic financial or physical or emotional or mental fuck up, like royally, but we all learn in different ways. If we as the ladies are not giving the tradies the space to learn through their own ways, and we're constantly like, do it like this, it has to be done like that, and we're controlling them and we're criticizing the way that they're doing it in business with them, they will just shut down, they will lose confidence, and that impacts so many different things in the business. The third thing is, if those two things are singing true to you, or you're like, whoa, that's us, or that's me, the third thing is you're probably unfulfilled in your life and you need to go and find something for yourself, whether it's a job, whether it's being a mum and allowing somebody else to do the admin and outsourcing all of that stuff, whether it's going to find your own career or a creative outlet, you need to get out. And if I look at the people that we coach, the businesses that actively work the wives out over time, once we discover that she wants to do something else or it's too fracturing on the relationship and on the marriage trying to work together, oh my God, we see the tradies lift. We see their confidence increase. And this isn't because we're shit humans, ladies, but it's because they are getting to do it the way that works for them. They are learning and growing in a way that works for them. And we are no longer controlling the narrative of the business or in their minds around how good they are or not. And that's where we come in, right? So one of our clients says, she's the wife that I actually listen to. And you know what? For many of you women, or that you out there girls, you'll be like, that is so offensive to think that this external coach is the person that is able to influence my husband or my partner, who I love more than anybody else on this earth. But if it makes your marriage better, who cares? If it makes your financial situation better, who cares? If it makes your tradie more confident, who cares? Because most tradies, in my experience, are really happy to support the things that their wives and girlfriends, partners want to go and do. But I don't think that we give the boys as much of that freedom, as much as works so much better. So this is not a criticism on any level to any lady out there in their tradie business. It's an opportunity for you to sit back and reflect on your role. Is it lighting you up? Is it causing too much tension? Is everything that you're saying to your tradie falling on him as criticism, knocking his confidence around? And I can tell you now, girls, when we get the boys on their own and we ask them straight, in the eyes, Dal, are you feeling like you cannot get anything right in this relationship and in this business? And so many of them say yes. I just don't know how to make her happy. I don't know what to do anymore. And then we move the wife out. Oh my God, it just changes lives. It just changes lives. Some couples work tremendously well in business together, but some just don't. And we have to make it okay for the ladies to step away. And ladies, I'll be honest with you, usually it's you that are putting the brakes on, digging your heels in, saying, no, I have to do this and I have to do that, because you don't want to let go. But I want you to consider, at what cost to you, to your relationship and to your tradie business is you holding on for dear life and staying in longer than perhaps you should? What is the cost of that?